Hello and welcome to yet another week here of Crown Cup. We are coming back you again with yet another live stream. This time around, we are going to be watching the game between Let Me Know and Plates Group in the Challenger division as they go head to head in this season. It is looking entirely exciting for me as we get going and sort of get into the nitty gritty of this particular series. A lot of teams in this series, so I'm going to be looking forward to, as always, some of the teams starting to get to know each other a little bit better. What do you think about this upcoming matchup?
Well, this is quite an interesting match to look at for the series. We've seen actually Let Me Know a couple times already on stream. So honestly, the schedule works out so well for us that we can't just see them once or twice. It's got to be three times at the very least. So there'll be um, a good sight to watch again for the people who've already seen their previous matches. They'll be more familiar with the players, the styles they play, and just how dangerous they can be a lot of the times with the way they play. So the big question for me right now is the other team in this case. So we're looking at Plate Group, who I haven't seen much of. The standings, they uh, they do show quite some nice things about them. So finally seeing them on stream, what they can do in front of a live crowd, definitely something to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. It is certainly something to look forward to. This particular team, it's always going to be interesting as well. I mean, especially as like the metas are sort of developed as well, and some of these teams starting to get used to how these things kind of work out. And it's always great as well when a team does have a schedule that lines up so well with casting. I mean, obviously, it's going to be great for them because they get to get casted a whole bunch, which I'm sure is great for the players in that team. And it's great for us too because it means that we get a lot of opportunity to, not only just maybe see teams as they sort of develop and through rather than just necessarily jumping between lots of different teams. But it also means that we're definitely going to be bringing you stream after stream and keeping you updated as the weeks go by. And I think that's just a really great little thing to keep going with these tournaments, especially community tournaments.
Absolutely. So here are the standings that we can see right now. And if we're looking for the two teams in contention, we've got Let Me Know in 13th place with four matches. They've won two and lost two. And Plate Group just below them, same place. Both have won two and lost two. So they've got the same points in the standings. So this is really a decider for each of these teams. Whoever can win this is going to be moving ahead, um, having that better record, and really knowing if they can get it through this middle of the pack situation that we're in right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can really see some of these standout teams already just from this short time period as well. But just looking at this in this particular group stage as well, I mean, you've got all sorts of different different teams already all the way up there at the top in the rookie division. It's slightly smaller division than the challenger division. You got CSD all the way at the top there, of course. And some of these teams have, I believe, played in the previous season as well. So I hope that they are going to be enjoying, getting to know these other teams, new teams, in fact, and maybe even some good scrimming partners. Some of them are, of course, part of entire organizations. So you might have noticed a few similar sounding names, and it's always good to be seeing those sort of familiar faces all getting involved in the same tournament.
Absolutely. It's really nice to see returning players, returning teams, and the like. It really shows that they've enjoyed the previous season, or there could be a chance of them, if they didn't really do that well in the previous season, this could be their comeuppance. This could be their comeback, what they've worked on during that time, if they've got any new comps, any looks to show us with players or strategies. It's always nice to see teams build themselves up and do better over time.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the oldest community tournaments that I really remember was GG, which has gone on for like many many seasons now. But back when that was all the rage and very very popular, it was all about teams getting better and improving. And I really hope that a lot of that sort of idea of getting better and improving yourself as a player as a team continues on throughout all of these different tournaments. And it's always great to see these teams as well come back stronger as well, not just in a later season, but in the same season or against different opponents, the same opponents, and really, make a charge through the standings, even if they started off a little bit rough.
Absolutely. Um, so I'd like to actually talk a bit about Plate Group right now. When I was looking through the information they've submitted, it was quite interesting to me that their favorite comp to run is the Crazy Raccoon comp. And for those who don't know, this was Crazy Raccoons, the OWCS team. This was their signature composition that they were dominant on. Like they won so many maps, it was touted as unbeatable for the entirety of the first year of OWCS, and this was their Wrecking Ball comp. And how to draw, or who is their tank player, is a is a ball player, and they seem to have been working this comp. So do you think we'll be able to see it today, perchance?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I definitely think that we're going to be seeing some of these kind of compositions that they love and enjoy. I think that, a lot of these characters are pretty strong generally, and it's not necessarily just that, oh, what's the meta, but why things are also the meta. And I think that with these kind of heroes, you'll definitely see, some play of some kind, because honestly, sometimes just playing on a particular comfortable hero is probably going to be able to do a lot more work than trying to play the meta heroes, because sometimes those meta heroes, well, they could be a little bit finicky to play. The reasons why they're better than some other one and why the meta sort of evolved over time is can be a little bit tricky.
Absolutely. I also find that being much more confident and familiar with the characters you're comfortable with can just be that edge if you're against a more meta effective team in that sense. Due to the nature of you having played Yuhuri multiple times, you know the matchups, you know what to look for, and if you can find these weaknesses, if you can find these pain points, even with your slightly less meta comp, you can definitely make it work. You can absolutely make it work.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also that just it also becomes a part of the mental strengths as well. Becomes much more natural to you to play in a better, more optimal way, not as an individual, but also as a team. And that can really help with a lot of different plays. It allows you to mix things up a little bit more, be a little bit more creative, be a little bit more aggressive and play for the win than you might otherwise be if you're playing on an unfamiliar, uncomfortable hero.
Absolutely. So our returning team this time to the broadcast, as they've been a couple times before, is going to be Team Let Me Know. And if anyone is familiar with this team, we've seen them play a lovely version of their Winston Honor Brig setup as a dive comp. Finn has also showcased the Hazard quite a few times. Kingfisher, the Lucio player, did fantastic the last time. And according to my sources, cites Vega from Team Liquid as his main inspiration. So expect to see an Ajax or two as we're going along.
Yes, I mean, as you were saying with that particular team, I mean, let me know is you know been here a few times. We've seen them a few times as well on the stream, and but with that particular composition that you're pointing out, well, I mean, how do I how do I say this? It's definitely been around for a long time with dive compositions, but Hazard Dive is a very broady kind of composition. So I think we'll probably see, if the diving part doesn't necessarily work, which I think it probably almost certainly will, then we'll probably see more of the brawl in the end. I would expect, right? Because a lot of things unfortunately come down to brawl and brawling, whether people like that or not in the meta.
No, absolutely. A lot of the times, it's which team can brawl, so to speak, more effectively. And due to this, we've seen a lot of comp swaps. We've seen a lot of different backlines being played. Lucio Kiri, I think, was the most frequent one, but we've seen Ana Lucio, we've seen Juno Brig, we've seen quite a variety. Even Baptiste has been around quite a few times as well. Um, I think the heroes we've seen the least has been heroes such as the Mercy, the Moira, even the Zenyatta, because Zenyatta's been in a state where I feel like the only times I've seen Zen has been in ranked games at this point. So it'll be interesting to see if they've got anything special cooked up for certain maps or if they've got a specific cheese comp in mind that we could see, because Sim has also been getting more and more attention from people. So we've also seen
Mm.
a bit of sim here. It could be incredibly, incredibly strong, especially on maps like Lijiang, for example, where the sim, TP to point, the faster respawn timings, just being able to take the space a bit quicker can literally just decide a fight at the get go in that sense.
Yeah, and I do wonder how much, pardon the pun, symmetry we'll be seeing in the conversations between these two teams. Mirroring is obviously a very common thing because it just allows you to ensure that the difference is your strategy, your players, your skills, rather than necessarily your composition. And it allows you to even out any of those things, especially when certain kind of compositions help and are stronger against other ones. It's kind of the main reason why we've not been seeing a lot of Sigma as he's kind of just gone out of favor, not because he's gotten like nerfed or anything, but just because he just doesn't play well in this 5v5 format.
Yeah, Sigma, due to his specialties, it's always just a bit trickier for him because heroes like Ram, they're just able to walk up to him and threaten him with Nemesis form. And Sigma, all he has to do in this case is he just has to give ground due to the nature of his abilities. He's fantastic at soaking up ranged damage and being a sponge for that sort of pressure. But as we've seen before, Sigma really struggles if tanks, especially heroes like Ramatra, like Ryan, even Diva in cases, are just able to walk up to him and pressure him out of the space.
Yeah, I mean, we've been seeing that a lot, even on maps that have previously been thought of as, Sigma composition maps, like Circuit Royale, such a classic map for seeing Sigma on that map. And yet, we've not really been seeing much play. And I feel like a lot of the teams are slowly sort of picking up on that, and that picking that Ramattra is going to be a much stronger choice on that map. Which brings me nicely onto the map pool, actually, because first of all, we do have a selection of map pools. We're going to be starting off with control. So even if we did see, Circuit Real, it's going to be well. I mean, just have a look. Do you see it there? I don't see it on the list. Oh no,
It's
it is.
that,
Let's go.
that's all right.
Ah, no, I'm blind. Hopefully
But
the
for our
players will know
control,
when yeah. It is,
uh,
it is. Hopefully the players are not anywhere near as blind as me. But Control, sorry. What do you think of those control maps?
so Busan, Lijiang Tower, Nepal, and Oasis. I've got to say, there's quite a few good sim maps in there. I just have a feeling, I have a feeling we might see it. And in this case, the map has been decided. It seems to have been chosen as Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, Lijiang Tower. I mean, I think that's a great choice. It's a very mature map, so everybody's very familiar with the map and how to play it. There haven't been too many map additions, to be fair. Although, speaking of Symmetra maps in this particular map pool, unfortunately, it seems that Plate Group has in fact banned Sims. So I don't think we're going to be seeing any Sim on these control maps, but it does open up the opportunity on later maps for Symmetra to be played, and I think that's going to be all the matter here for Plate Group. On the other
Yeah.
hand, we've got a Kiriko ban. What do you think of that?
So the Sim ban speaks to itself. Sim has always been historically fantastic on control, and especially Lijiang, one of the symbolic best Sim maps in the game. The Kiriko ban, um, I think, is to slow down the pace of the game a bit, to make this backline less elusive, a bit easier to catch and prey on. Kiriko able to defend herself fantastically against dives. Even in the brawl, she's fantastic. She's able to reposition very easily. Suzu's always been so good, and just the genuine things you can do in the character can make it really hard for the enemy team to catch you and punish you in a lot of situations. So it seems they're electing for a bit more of a steady, a slower game of Overwatch where maybe things aren't quite so speedy, or the backline in this case isn't quite as elusive.
Yeah, absolutely. You got so much potential to survive any kind of situation as Kiriko, especially, when you're playing in a dive or against a dive. You have your cleanse, you have your TP, so you can just GTFO when they come barreling into your back line. And that can be all the difference in kind of divey sort of situations. But we've got an interesting composition between these two teams.
Absolutely. Not quite the mirror we were expecting to see here. We're seeing Plate Group roll out on the May Orisa comp with the cast Bat Lucio. against the Moira from the side of LetMeKnow.
Yeah, this is interesting as well. They starting to get set up here in the middle of the point already. Play group starting strong, using that wall to isolate and kill Finn already. Tanked down, critical death there for LetMeKnow. They are surely going to have to be backing off, and they do, giving up their side point already.
That was such a fantastic cap. It looks so dangerous there for Plate Group. How to draw, losing all their health. The lamp forced to jump in from Finn, but the punish was so good. The wall to isolate any help Finn could get from his team, and the follow-up was fantastic onto the Has there.
Absolutely beautiful, beautiful work there by Play Group to punish, and they're already trying to push in now here for LetMeKnow, going for the background, tries to dive, doesn't find the kill, but a couple of others do though. They trade down, Tracer is down as well. He's been isolated though all the way here, and trying to get some kills as well, but they're just getting focused down. Play Group getting the kill, and there's just a couple of members left for LetMeKnow on the point. There's no way they're going to be winning this fight.
Yeah, a really nice hold there from Plate Group. Really doing their best to live this dive, live the engages super well. You can see how their comp is really built to punish Finn and make life really hard for Tiny Cerebrum. We just saw how much HP he lost, even the initial start. Armor's gone down to 200 HP. So much damage if this comp from the side of Plate Group can just look at you.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit of a different strategy now we see from LetMeKnow going around the side, maybe trying to expose themselves a little bit less to the immense damage that Plate Group can field here. We do have a couple of ultimates online. No doubt they're going to be thinking of using them here. Creo comes out. Will they be able to find a kill? They neglect to go for the kill. Finds one eventually, and that's all they really need. Play Group finding 2 kills already. 3v5 situation. Pulsebomb comes out, finds the stick with no kills, unfortunately for LetMeKnow, and they're going to have to bail out of the site here with a reset, with only one real fight left on the table for LetMeKnow.
It's really going to be looking like a tough fight for them. They've only got the Coalescence in hand, and Plate Group has 4 ultimates. It only cost them a high noon for that fight, and they managed to get through quite a bit here. Still got a bit more left on his Hazard ult bit up. This bleed's been a bit slow. Heading into final fight.
Final fight indeed, using what ultimates they have remaining. I'm surprised, but they managed to make good use of this. The window has come out as well, forcing them to play a little bit scared and defensive. Maywall as well, blocking them from trying to capture the point, but they are able to touch and get overtime. Mail comes out as well. Oh, getting killed, Ajax in the middle, though, always going to be painful. Not able to get any sort of isolation here. All the ultimates now have been played now. Now it's just a pure team fight, a raw skill, and it looks like Plate Group are coming out on top with those ultimates. They managed to gain just enough of advantage, it seems. And they got that win. What do you think of that final map? Oh my word. They used all the ultimates. All of them.
What a
and they
fight
still,
there.
No women was found.
So they started off with the Orisa ult to drag them all in, and they had a window from the side just to really get a view of that. The response was the Coalescence, of course, but with the window still beaming down, couldn't really get all that much value out of it. And we saw there Finn doing their best to touch, but taking so much damage. And the beat just a second late, and due to the isolation from the wall beforehand, Finn was robbed of that beat and dies as the beat comes out. So without their tank, they really struggle there. So we're going to see a little swap over from LetMeKnow in terms of the support line.
Yeah, a little bit of a change. Maybe in the hopes of trying to keep their tank alive a little bit longer. They are certainly getting absolutely burst down. I think that nade from Anna might be helping to, provide such great healing. But I think it's going to matter. This Tracer here on this absolutely massive flank, while the rest of Plate Group and LetMeKnow are having a brawl on the other side of points. Using a recall already, as the rest of the team here are trying to keep Finn alive. But he's about to get knocked off, and he managed to stay alive, thankfully, to his... Oh, I think he could have lost it there, but thankfully, Hazard can indeed climb. But unfortunately, all that time on the side of the edge is not enough. He's isolated away from the fight.
It's a bit unfortunate. Yeah, it seems Plate Group take the first cap here. There was a bit of a 3-2 split from the side of LetMeKnow, looking to get some different angles, look for their nade timings, and this time they do find one, not how to draw.
No! How to draw, their tank is down! As I was saying briefly, tank is such a critical member of the team. I mean, just look at this. Now, all because of that kill, they managed to pile onto the point. They're getting those kills, but are they able to turn around the point? The mate is still alive, keeping the point a little bit longer. And I think they did enough there and kind of split the point.
That was a really nice catch there from Let Me Know. They saw the overstep from the side of plate group. They saw how to draw just a bit overextended, just slightly without those cooldowns, maybe a second or two off, and they capitalized so fast. You saw the Orisa go down incredibly quickly in that piece there.
Absolutely, and it was just so vital for Let Me Know getting that kill here. Ultimate's coming online now. Deadeye getting walled off immediately by Play Group, but they still find a kill anyway. Even though as they kind of try and find their positioning, they just weren't able to get out of this choke.
Really nice hold there, the Deadeye swing and the follow-up, but it seems they pushed into spawn and they've been punished. We've seen Finn and Tiny Cerebrum go down, so it's going to be a quick reset here, but they do still have ultimates like the Nano, like the Cold to come back with. It's just a question of whether Plate Group can capitalize this and flip things over.
Yeah, well, Plate Group are coming in incredibly quickly, straight off the back, making sure to punish what just happened there. That unfortunate misplay, over-aggression, straight into the spawn. And now you have four ultimates, sorry, on both of these sides. Fatal with the 5, in fact. And, I mean, it's just going to be seeing an absolute slurry of visual effects sooner or later. But whoever's going to come out of the top onto this little trade is going to be the victor here. Ultimate comes out, but isn't able to find any. But, oh, a huge pulse there. Oh, never mind. Isn't able to find. Thought he got a kill, but it was just the lamp. Sorry. What a mess that was. Absolutely incredible zoning ultimate, but unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be quite enough here, as Let Me Know are getting chased down. The tank goes down first, with just 2 members remaining, getting chased down here. The McCree gets killed, and they are gone. No more.
That was an absolutely massive ult trade. So we saw how to draw in the front line, trying to take all the aggro. There was quite a bit of an ult exchange. Started off with the Haz ult to zone things out. We saw a Mei ult in response, but it was how to draw who was isolated on the side, looking for things with the original. The backline was just zoned. There was a beat over the side. Oh, there wasn't a beat over the side. We've still got this beat in the pocket, and here it comes.
No! V comes out and they are able to use it, and they just go in and mow down the remaining players of Let Me Know. This time around, how to draw is not getting isolated, and they are working in step with their team, picking up all of those kills.
That was a really nice push, recognizing the fact that they had beat. The other team has no defensive ult to match this, and we're heading into final fight territory, looking at 2, potentially 3 ults inside of Let Me Know. And Play Group, the bank is empty right now, so they've got to be careful here.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think maybe they might have spotted. They realized that the Tracer's coming around, but they've got a touch point here for Let Me Know, and they've managed to do so eventually to trigger overtime. Ultimate's coming out online, trying to find a kill here. Jumps all the way into the back line, but they're just going to get absolutely melted by everyone who is there. Their tank is down. Let Me Know in shambles. They've got to touch the point. Maybe turn this around into overtime. Maybe rely on this Nano that's coming online now. But Play Group have their own. They have their own Denai zoning the point, making sure nobody comes around. And overtime, and he able to keep alive here by the Tracer. Reinforcements come in, but it's just nowhere near enough, because that Orisa has got their own ultimate too. Nobody is getting on points with them around. Dominant play by Plates Group, but second round there, Let Me Know did a great performance. I would love to know what you think, not only about that last fight, but about that entire map.
I'm going to say at the very least for that last fight, we saw Let Me Know posturing up, getting closer to the point, looking for the finish with a Hazard ult. But you just see what this comp is built to do. The punish on the Hazard, incredibly strong. Finn jumps in at full HP, at full armor, gets melted down in under a second. So quick. Looks for the Mei, forces the ice block, but the lamp is good. And if you saw the Mei there with the ice block perk, when they're in ice block, they do I believe it's 70 damage per second. So even then, breaking down the armor, breaking down the damage, and he's just left isolated and absolutely melted on point. As the first one dead, it was a really nice hole, a really nice setup there to catch the tank, to punish him as he looks for these dives, looks for these engages. And we just saw how tough that could be for Finn. We felt it really throughout both of the submaps there. But it was nice to see Let Me Know find their footing, find the way they want to play this comp with the fights they won. And I look forward to see where they're going to head next at this point. This could be
Yeah,
the effects of the Kerry ban as well, I might say. We did see the Moira, which isn't traditionally what you would see. Usually it's something of a Lucio Kerry, perhaps, or even an Ana Kerry, if you wanted to get a bit greedier. But maybe looking to punish Let Me Know's flex support hero pool in that case. So with that ban now out of the way, could be a very different look from both of these teams.
Yeah, I it's interesting to see how these bans make effect on what teams choose to do and choose to play. I mean, um, hero bans is comparatively new to the game. It's not been long for the hero bans to be implemented as as per it currently is. So how teams adapt to that is kind of interesting. I mean, generally feel like often they'll sort of try to choose some kind of hero band and they don't really manage to make it work out quite so well for one reason or another. But yeah, as you were saying, it seems like it might have actually had some effect.
Absolutely. Usually we do see more Lucio Kyria here. The Ana was a nice look in comparison. Even the Ana Moira was looking quite good there for Let Me Know. But the other addition to carry on top of Suzu is the fact that while it cleanses all effects, it also cleanses the DPS passive. You saw how much damage Finn was taking there. If you could cleanse some of that DPS passive, heal him back up just in that instance, render him invulnerable and intangible as to the effects of the ability, it could have been a slightly different look. But here at Hybrid, in terms of our map pool, King's Row has been chosen this side from the side of Let Me Know.
Yeah, as we go into the next map with these two teams, they are been looking quite strong as well in their previous match. Plate group starting off with a strong lead getting the first map, and it seems like the next map to be picked here is going to be something. So, I thought I knew, but apparently I don't anymore. It's gonna be interesting though to see what kind of heroes these teams are going to ban. What would you like expect them to be banning in the upcoming match? I mean, we saw some excellent plays from both of these teams. You know, the Orisa doing quite a lot of work, working to get well with their team. Obviously, Orisa is really strong at anchoring as well with the team. So, will they be going around that way? Will they be trying to just spam out the tank and maybe win that way?
Well, I was going to say historically, at least for Let Me Know's side, we've seen them play the Hazard on King's Row first, and also King's Row second. Incredibly strong, really good at the streets phase, able to access high ground using his verticality. The wall's so good for the inside small rooms. In general, a great map for Hazard, and thus, well, Let Me Know or Team Fanata in this case, they've banned out May. They felt the May was too strong. Also, could be incredibly good at defense. But in response, we've seen the Hazard ban from Plate Group as it's been left open.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think both of these picks are good choices overall. I know you were saying about Hazard being particularly strong in certain situations, but maybe Play Group are a bit concerned about you know a team that love to play Hazard, how are they going to be playing that? It's going to be, a painful even if you let them run riots. And the May, well, I mean, you saw how just painful that May was and how effective they were at just isolating team members in their tank. And then the rest of the team just powered on in. I mean, it's beautiful plays from the May and allowing the team to capitalize on it. It's truly beautiful to see, but I think both of these honestly make a lot of sense for King's Row.
Absolutely. I think the big thing here is the tank ban because if the Hazard is gone here, I think Playgroup are quite happy to take the Arista They seemed quite confident on it. On the whole, they looked very good on it too. And this just could be what they need in this case to even potentially take this map or break the opponent's serve, so to speak. So I'm going to be interested if we see maybe a Ramatra come out, maybe not favoring the Orisa from the side of Let Me Know here. We'll see what other looks Finn can show us on top of the Hazard already.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is indeed uh, the pick of how to. Sorry. So, so for Finn to be playing on this map and for his team to pick King's Row, I think that's obviously quite indicative that they would be very confident on it. So even if you're fearing that, just by seeing the kind of nature of them being so confident about choosing this map and that they think that they would be able to win against Plate Group on this map. I think it's going to be interesting to see how well that goes along. But we do finally see the kind of teams that these groups are going to be playing. And we do not see the Orisa. We see a familiar face, the hamster from How to Draw. I know you mentioned before the favorite composition, and it seems they have chosen it this time around. Oh,
Absolutely.
did he pick up the
Quick
kill already?
sword from Valerian, but we've got a far Mercy from the side of LetMeKnow in the defense. Incredibly strong first point for Fari, able to really get this damage down. Seeing a completely different look here with the Diva.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, this diva is an interesting choice. A diva quite strong right now, but she is actually getting melted by the attacks of How to, and they are looking awfully low. Unfortunately, LetMeKnow losing 2 members already, as Beliron is making absolute mincemeat here. Oh, as they go ahead and capture the first point already.
Absolutely, that was a very, very quick fight. We saw the idea from the side of LetMeKnow, but the problem was this Diva just took too much damage, took too many resources on the way back in, and due to the effects of the DPS passive, wasn't able to be kept up quite as quickly in that moment. And the other problem I think for LetMeKnow's comp is it was the Diva who was required to touch point when Plate Group pushes. But it seems like the first point's already gone their way, and we're heading to another neutral right now.
Absolutely incredibly difficult for them to make that little touch there, but they are now focusing on a different part of the map here as they work around Bookstore, the common point to hold for the defensive line, trying to poke out, see if they can get any advantage. Finn already looking at half health as everybody else starts to push in, try and find some kills. Finn already going to get demeched early as Loop goes down as well. It is not looking good here for LetMeKnow. Nice little kill on the end there for the Pharah, but they are going to have to be pressing and hoarding those S keys as they head all the way back here to the final part of the second points.
Absolutely, it's been kind of a roll this time from Plate Group, but it's LetMeKnow who don't look that bad on ultimates. You've got to really watch this barrage, but I'm afraid it's going to have to be quite big here. Got the window, got the OC too, incredibly strong points, strong ults to hold the point, even into the Diva with the DM.
Ultimates coming out online here. Mercy being put early. In fact, I think this is a good time to be using Mercy ult. Unfortunately, Diva gets demexed, and even though you might be able to pick up 1 kill with a barrage, it's just not enough for the opposing team. Valorant picking up 2 kills, making mincemeat here. Loophole, though, is absolutely going haywire, popping off on the high ground, no less. The perfect position to be playing the from. But unfortunately, there's just a couple of members still around here, and I don't think even with that Mercy support, they're going to be able to keep that point alive. Thankfully, backup do come and are able to dispatch the remaining players.
That was a very, very close recontest at the end of second day. LetMeKnow doing so well to live. Loophole really coming alive in the fight, showing their chops on the Ashe. But now you've got to be really careful here. They've got a beat push, annihilation, and a window looking for this next fight. And we've just got a nano Bob on response from the side of LetMeKnow. They're going to have to look for something cheeky here, see if they can cheat out some of these ultimates or take it a bit slower. Or maybe even a potential Ajax could be the key to winning this fight here.
Yeah, well, that's not the only thing they've done as well. They've also switched their tank over onto Doomfist. I mean, what do you make of that switch?
It seemed more like a desperation swap to stop the recontest at the end of second to keep that going. But it's Jam Jam who's got down early in the piece, and we've got a beat push. And members from LetMeKnow are dropping like flies, but it seems Finn's just good for it. Out comes the Reds, the Bob's still holding the point. Panya 3's back in the fight. Finn's doing his best to live, but finally falls on point. We've still got a Farah in the sky. We've got the Mercy down at the very end. It's very desperate. And it seems Tiny Cerebrum does wall, and the swaps don't quite get it. Plate Group caps second there.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate. A great second hold, though, in the end. Some beautiful plays, but it wasn't enough, unfortunately. They were just losing too much at the start of the fight, and even though they were doing their best in the later parts to try and regroup, I just don't think it was enough. As these teams start to kind of battle around here with the Pharah on the high ground with the support of the Mercy. And Finn here is doing their best to contest the side, make sure that you're not letting past with the support. Oh, huge! Huge! Getting 2 kills already with that Farah kill. That's going to be able to turn it around, but unfortunately, the rest of the team of Playgroup have other ideas, picking up 2 of their own, trading it out. The Mercy res comes out, resing the Farah here, able to pick up their own kill, and it's enough. Take out the tank with the Tracer withdrawing for now. Doing a good job of controlling the Tyrant, using these heroes with high mobility.
Absolutely. We're going to see a swap this time from the side of Playgroup here. How to draw onto the D.Va, hoping to shut down this Farm Mercy just a bit more, get the team that bit of an extra angle. I'm surprising to see that Loophole is on the Soldier this time instead of sticking the Ashe here.
Yeah, I mean, Soldier is just honestly not a great hero right now. There's just a lot of other characters that do the same role that Soldier does, but better. And unfortunately, LetMeKnow, I'm going to be losing the Ana, but it still comes with a silver lining as How to Draw loses their mech and the rest comes out, and it's enough for LetMeKnow to go on the offensive here, pick up a couple of kills, and put the team Playgroup all the way back, having to regroup already.
I've got to say, even during that fight, fantastic work from Finn. I wasn't really too confident on the Doomfist, but Finn really knows what they're doing here. A hero they're definitely comfortable with, putting so much pressure on the backline, keeping 4 of them zoned as the D.Va flies in and gets D-Mech. Does get the kill, but loses the mech and loses their life for it. And we saw the effects of the res there in safe territory. A man down is nothing to a Mercy res in that case.
Absolutely lacking the teammates to come in and support the D.Va there, unfortunately, as the beat comes out here, but now as they kind of go around, who knows what's going to be coming around. There might be a Farah barrage, but I think the Farah might be going down a bit too early. You still got the D.Va with their Matrix as well. Window comes out as well. They're going to be looking for the ultimate. They do press Q and get a kill, but unfortunately, their card is so close to point. I don't matter. Playgroup coming out with the win there, working as the team pushing into that backline as a group, brawling them, and LetMeKnow unfortunately going down. I mean, that was a bit of a messy fight at the very end, but Playgroup coming out on top there, no doubt about that.
That was a really tough fight. A really nice work there from Playgroup, knowing they have the beat, knowing they can push their advantage, get the D.Va in the face without using much DM, without using many resources. And once you're that close to a backline as squishy as that, the Mercy, the Ana, the Soldier, absolutely chewed up by D.Va. We saw the effects of Balerion going Soge, able to hammer down this damage, Finn doing their best to keep it up. We saw the ultimates invested, I think, a bit late there from the side of LetMeKnow, really looking for that opportunity. The barrage does come out in the end, but it seems like not investing these ults on the push a bit earlier is kind of what cost them that, because the trades were good, and if they were able to get the recontest just that bit quicker, we might have seen a bit of a stronger hold there. But nonetheless, very nice from the side of Playgroup, and a good hold from the side of LetMeKnow. Will be interesting to see what they'll roll out on this time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they look like they're going to be going with that surprise Doomfist pick that seems to be working out for them. I guess it's something that they rolled the dice on and it's working out for them well. So why not just continue to stick to it? And a few other changes as well, with Loophole going a Widow and a Genji. And I do hope that they will be doing just as much of an amazing fight this time around, and they don't give up the points accidentally in that unfortunately messy team fight at the very end. Pushing up already here onto the first point, trying to find a good position, trying to isolate, find those backline characters that the Doomfist can kind of harass and force around.
Absolutely. A little bit of a spear there from How to Draw, catching Jab Jam just unawares. A pixel perfect spear, and out comes the kill onto the side there, onto Tiny Cerebrum. We really see the effects of this. I'm surprised to see that they're sticking the Mercy here, but nonetheless, Finn's got a kill on the side onto Gangnam, getting a bit too careless with that Doomfist. Still incredibly dangerous in these close quarters here.
Yeah, absolutely. That Doomfist is they certainly know where to be placing that Doomfist and making it terrifying for the opponents. And well, I guess that's an exceptionally good thing for LetMeKnow. Playgroup though are playing safe. They're playing around these corners. They're keeping their distance away, and it's enough here. Unfortunately, Balerion is picking up a kill onto the Mercy. Crucial pick, no doubt. But How to Draw goes down. In fact, they trade out both of their tanks, and now it's just a little bit of a but I don't think it's gonna matter because they are playing this Juno as though it's a DPS. My word. Oh, Bipolar Bear is doing some work there on that.
That was quite a good fight from the side of Let Me Know. Even with the
Mm.
trade being so good, not able to quite eke it out in the end. At the same time, they get some point presence. They get some almost a tick on. They've got these ultimates coming up too, charging a bit slower, but this Valk could go quite tough here as the other support ults. It's really only a tracer ult here, but it seems a very early pick from Tiny Cerebral with the Mercy Block here onto the Freya. A bit of a step back from Playgroup.
Yeah, but how well are they going to be able to capitalize onto this early pick? And it doesn't seem like they'd be able to do it too well, but this Genji is coming in from behind and is not being contested in the slightest, but I don't think it's going to really matter. The Tracer Bomb had already managed to pick up 1 kill. And just look at this, they're now starting to be whittled down now with Playgroup coming in, their tanks in tow, taking up the Vanguard. And unfortunately, Let Me Know getting pushed off.
Yeah, it looks like we're resetting for another fight here, but this is going to be our massive ult exchange. Nano Blade almost online, not really a defensive support ult from the side of Playgroup to stop this. If you're able to get a clean Nano Blade, it could just be the fight win, it could be the cap right and early.
Oh, but the ultimate, they're trying to find and isolate and pick up that kill on the Ana, such a crucial character in any sort of backline. And Playgroup are going to be coming out on top in this trade out. Let Me Know, unfortunately, only missing the Bob already. But Playgroup, they used all their ultimates.
That was their 3 for the price of 1. Still got this Doom ult very close by, still got the Valk to help with the tempo. And this Nano Blade is still very much online. Gonna look to do something with the Ray here, Playgroup, but you gotta be careful from Let Me Know side. If they're allowed to set this up, it could be over for this first point.
Oh no! Beautiful kill though by Gangon there onto Finn, killing that tank player while they were down with their pants down, trying to grab that health kit. And that's all that they need to make sure that Let Me Know are going back and having to go once again reset for the next team fight.
Absolutely. Catching that kill, letting him charge these ults up just a bit more, looking to set up another play. But out it comes, the Nano Blade onto Tiny Cerebrum, looking for his second. And it's Peck Hazel.
Fourth kill now!
Fourth kill here. the ult onto the Tracer, too, ult onto Tracer. Very nice there from the side of Let Me Know. Finn getting his one with that. They did have to really spend the bank here. They have to get a lot, but it seems they will be getting this first point here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure if that Doom ult, if the psychological damage was worth it, because it seems more like Finn might be the one who's possibly a little bit more frustrated about getting killed by that Tracer there when they're on such a low HP. But they did do enough in the end, just before overtime activated, and they get a little bit of a boost to their time bank as they go on to the second point. Playgroup doing an excellent job so far on the defense.
Absolutely. We're seeing a little swap over here onto D.Va for the side of Let Me Know. So, still sticking the Mercy Ana. Looking to try and get past this choke. This Orissa's going to be quite hard to dislodge here, so going to be keeping an eye on this side fight. But we've got Gangnam setting up behind, looking for something a bit sneaky.
Yeah, these Orisa using their ultimate, and Orisa is just such a great anchor choice as well as they try and kind of push through this chokehold. It is not going to be easy for them. Let Me Know losing the tank. It's unfortunately going to be too difficult here. No doubt, they're just fighting against... I mean, what are they fighting about at this point? just for bragging rights? I don't know.
Potentially. A bit tough here. You've really got to see the effects of the Baptiste here. The immortality, able to keep Alcatraz in these situations, able to contest Scott. Out comes the Bob from the side, Gold Force. Finn's gone deep, looking to zone backliners, but the window's out. There's a punish onto Finn. Do they live? Window's gone. Same for the lamp here. They're now very, very low.
How is Finn still alive?
Baptiste sneaking away the sliver of health, and it's Tiny Cerebrum who goes onto the fray in the mix. Got a Valk to hopefully layer this in. Still got the Nano in hand if they choose to invest here. Getting really tricky on this fight here from the side of Let Me Know.
I mean, oh no! Pulse Bomb comes out, able to find the kill onto the Ana, but it still got the res, and they use the res and the best. Bomb comes out, he's able to find a kill crucially onto the Orisa. Now it is looking all over for Playgroup here as ultimates come out from left, right, and center from Let Me Know. Beautiful Genji Blade once again from Tiny, and wow, they are doing excellent work on this Genji. I guess this was a good pick, but if they're relying so much on this Genji blade, is that a great thing? I don't know.
I'm afraid it's going to be really tough right now for Let Me Know. They had to spend the bank on
Hmm.
that fight in the streets phase, and if you look at the ultimates, they're really favoring the side of play group here. Let Me Know have got nothing to contest this raid, contest this Orisa roll, but his loophole comes back in the clutch, gets the early pick onto the Baptiste. It might still be winnable.
It certainly could still be winnable potentially, but it all depends on how this fight goes. They managed to trade out so far, but the Mercy has gone down. A crucial support in Let Me Know's back line. Tracer here working their way around, trying to find and pick up a confirmed kill on the Ana. There we go. Bipolar Bear as well of their own play group is absolutely doing mincemeat of the remaining players. They are not playing that support as support. They are playing it as a third DPS. Wow.
Absolutely. We really saw that it was exactly what Let Me Know needed there for that last fight. The early pick onto the Baptiste turning into 5v4. Raised use, there's a nice kite, there's a nice little disengage. But it's the Tracer managing to catch back Hazel on the side there. That early kill, it's still traded out for the Freya, but in the dogfight, without that res to really help in the mid fight to really get someone back in, and the rest of the ultimates like the Erythral and it's plate group who just have more resources. They have more things in their war chest, so to speak, and they managed to push it through. It was an absolute dogfight, and I very much liked, honestly, seeing the Mercy look, the Far Mercy, or even the Genji Mercy from the side of Let Me Know. I think it worked quite well. It was just a bit tricky setting up these fights and these favorable situations.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I do like that, you know, Mercy, Genji kind of composition that they're going for. The Pharah, I suppose, just wasn't quite working out for them in the way that you might really want. Even though Pharah has gone through some reworks and can definitely be a potent choice on maps, I think the Genji was just able to do a lot better job at winning those team fights for them and not even making it even slightly close when that Genji blade did come out. But I felt like, as you were saying, they just relied too heavily on it. It was like that was their only game plan, and any other game plan they had just wasn't quite enough to, get themselves into an advantageous situation for them. And maybe that's the difference between Playgroup and Let Me Know. Playgroup have been here since the OG seasons of Crown Cup, and maybe that kind of tournament experience is going to be really helping them here. When Let Me Know, to me, I'm not too familiar with them, so I think that those kind of plays always going to be very critical, especially if you're sticking together as a team for many, many seasons.
Absolutely. The experience really shows through in situations like that. At that point, you've had lots of comps, you faced lots of different teams, you've kind of seen it all, and you know what to expect and how to respond to these situations. And it seems for our map 3 pick for their life in the series, Let Me Know have chosen Circuit Royale out of the escort maps.
Yeah, Circuit Royale, a map that I mentioned at the very start of this stream as being one that was renowned as a Sigma map. But unfortunately, it's not really one to be chosen, unfortunately, because Sigma, like you were describing very helpfully, Sigma just isn't a great choice in a lot of situations because of how their kit works. So I wonder what kind of heroes we're going to be seeing instead. I'm not sure if the Hazard is going to be the best choice in here, but maybe you'll have better decisions and thoughts on that.
The real key with the Sigma comp, I think, if you're going to run it, is you need to have the ability to poke the walk up to make sure they can't get close without using these cooldowns. Like Ramatra walking a bit closer, taking so much damage, so he has a nemesis, and therefore he's not able to turn and shoot or even punch your stick. If we're able to, well, if I see Let Me Know go for a more Sigma like composition and they're able to use their range effectively, really leverage these long sight lines, even potentially see a Widow from the side of Loophole if they so desire. We can see, I think, potentially a more of a double flex backline. Potentially the Mercy. We could still potentially see Mercy. We've seen a bit of a cheese trap before with Mercy Freya or Mercy Farah, able to put out so much pressure, so much damage, and force lots and lots of cooldowns, things like Lamp, Baptiste, you can still see here. If it's going to be from the side of Plate Group, I imagine they could just be running the same Bap Juno they were running a bit earlier on King's Row.
Yeah, they could indeed be running that, and I think that that would be a strong option to be running. But I think that it comes down less to the supports and more to the DPS on this map. In my opinion, I mean, I perhaps might be wrong a little bit about that. I mean, you've got some good options with Farah, but unfortunately, it seems like Farah has been banned, and the Orisa ban comes through as well from Let Me Know. And I think that's actually good bans from both of these teams because Farah has got a lot of mobility options for this particular map. You know, you can jump over the buildings instead of having to go around and kind of focus them down that way. And with the high ground and second point as well, and third point even. And the Orisa has been doing such a dominant role with playgroup. So I guess it's no surprise to be seeing that.
Absolutely. Nice bands. I've got to say, I've loved the draft in the side of Plate Group. Their bands have always been on point. They've always
Mm.
been ahead or keeping an eye out for the threats that can really dismantle their comps. So the Faraband, quite nice from their side. Good to see that they understand what could be potentially very dangerous to them. And we saw it work on King's Row for quite a while. The Orisa ban has forced, it seems, how to draw onto the Ramatra. Expect to see a lot of the Ram holding his arms up and living for 5 years potentially. But yeah, looks like we're gonna be heading into the map.
I mean, I think I'd be more scared if Finn was the one playing Ramatcha, holding his arms up, because they seem to be able to stay alive forever on a lot of tanks that they were in. I mean, that last map of King's Row, my goodness. But it doesn't really matter, though, as Let Me Know here going for a very aggressive defense here with the Symmetra. But unfortunately, it just doesn't really matter. Plate Group have done their own little switcheroo here and gotten all the way to the point, forcing Let Me Know all the way here. And Plate Group have already managed to get a kill onto their backline, onto both of them. Kiriko Anna go down. No support here for Finn. He's going to be going down in no time at all. Just 2 supports against 3. I think this is going to be over very, very quickly.
Yeah, you saw an attempt at the spawn camp, but it seems they weren't quite as committed. It wasn't set up as best as it could have been. And Play Group, they just run away with the cart. They force them into an unfavorable situation. Let Me Know try to TP back, but it's Jam Jam who's caught unawares on the height. And it seems like they're still going to be sticking this comp as we head into our next fight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very good option for them, though, as they will maybe get 3 fights into this first points, and that could be a really advantageous thing as they go for their second fight here. And they've already given up a lot of room, getting isolated off by this Mei, and Valrion is taking full advantage of this, getting a kill onto Loophole as they all scramble around in panic, and there's just nowhere for them to seek refuge, unfortunately. Let Me Know. And Plate Group capturing that first point with ease.
Absolutely. That was a really nice wall from the side of Gangnam, catching Loophole unawares there on the Mei and isolated. So even after Ice Block, immediately cleaned up nice and quick. We're seeing a swap over to Hanzo, and it's Gangnam who again catches Loophole, I'm afraid, as we head into this next fight.
And next fight already with a couple of ultimates online for Plate Group and for Let Me Know. You've got that Mei with ults which can help with zoning them and preventing that push should it ever come from Let Me Know. But as they sort of get around here, starting to look for some opportunities, but they look like they're feeling a little bit scared. Ultimates come out online! Are they able to find anyone? No, they are not able to silence anyone. But Finn getting a kill already onto one of their key members. Unfortunately trading out with their Kiriko Ice. Mei Blizzard comes out, isolating, trying to find them with someone all the way in the back line. It doesn't matter, that Nano on Loophole, staying alive in that little cubby hole as the rest of the team come around, picking up the kills, and they are able to finally get a little bit of a good footing and start setting up for the next defense.
That was a really nice swing there from Plate Group, but Let Me Know catch it super well. Jam Jam with the Nano onto Loophole, and the Nano to Hanzo. Hanzo alone is scary enough, let alone with a Nano. Storm Arrow is doing so much damage and able to live and sustain it. But we've got a beat coming out, a nice beat push. Here comes the Kitsu Alphabet Kegel, but it's caught really early. Bit of a trade onto the Baptiste. We've got the Symbol coming out, hoping to stabilize, hoping to keep them alive. Maybe ensure some other trades potentially. We've got someone sleeping on the floor. The anti comes out to gang them, but they live using the ice block. So a very messy fight, but ultimately I think it's going to the side of Plate Group here. A very nice, quick fight with the beat.
Oh, absolutely. Dominant display there from Playgroup there. I mean, LetMeKnow had some excellent strategy, but unfortunately, Playgroup just rolled in with so much speed up the side, taking LetMeKnow almost by surprise there, it seems, and able to pick up those kills, even with those ultimates. Oh, Loophole able to find a kill already with the Dragon. The buffed Dragon is already getting a kill here in season. Tiny's able to pick up yet another kill. Finn as well with their ultimates. But unfortunately, even though Playgroup try and commit those ultimates, that window, that May, it's just not enough for LetMeKnow. They just go in, they roll in, they get those kills. Finn picking up those, and that's all they need. They only need to commit one ultimate. Oh, sorry, two ultimates. My bad. I completely forgot about the Hanzo ultimate there as well.
There's a very nice dragon there from Loophole, catching Bipolar super early on in the piece. And without the Lucio speed to really engage as well with the Euromatra, it's LetMeKnow who managed to live there. And
No! They've just lost a member already! LetMeKnow! 2 members go down already! Oh, and I was so excited. I thought Loophole might be able to pick up another ultimate already between those two fights. Nano comes out, and I think they might be able to turn this around, possibly, as they start to get up, chasing down that one player. But it's now a 1v2 situation. Sure, there may be a tank, but I just don't think it's enough. There's enough to scale them off at the very least.
Seems Tiny Cerebrum has been really putting the work in on Sim, catching 2 trades in that late fight there, and managed to get back to their team. Well, we can definitely see why Sim was banned in map 1. This look for LetMeKnow is looking fantastic, I've got to say. But it's Finn getting caught down a bit early, but the trade is still good onto the Baptiste. LetMeKnow is so good for the trades. It's tanks both down on either side. Bit of a dogfight here. Gonna see if any ults are invested, and it is. We've got the Blizzard coming out hoping to catch someone, but the cap's gone through. They've cheated the system, and it's such a good play there by Gangnam, hoping to zone off everyone, and the second point cap is secured after a long attempt from side Play Group.
Yeah, absolutely. Playgroup getting stalled out and losing a couple of matches, but unfortunately, even though they were looking a little bit rough in that later fight there, I thought LetMeKnow would have come out with a victory, like you were saying, and saw on your screen, Gangnam there with a perfect ultimate with the Blizzard, able to isolate everyone, preventing them from capturing the point, no matter what they wanted. Oh, ultimate coming out light here from the Freya. Oh, the boost! Yes! Oh, I love an environmental kill there from Bipolar. And he's able to maybe turn this around as they start to try and go up in the high ground. Tank is killed, but they are able to freeze a couple of people in place. This Freya is winning the duel on 1 HP. And LetMeKnow, there's only a couple of supports alive up on the high ground. Unfortunately, I just don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah, heading into this next fight, we've got quite the old situation here, but this symbol could be incredibly dangerous. Got to keep an eye on this Ramatra as he moves with forward and with Annihilation. Out comes the symbol. We've got so close to this Nano from the side of Jam Jam. If they can keep Finn up, but Finn goes down. Too much damage in this case. Really need this Nano to stabilize on point. We've got the Kerry trying to touch, but it's just a complete collapse. Not quite able to reach this Nano in time, not able to get the Dragon. And it seems to be a full push with 59 seconds left on the clock for the side of Play Group.
Beautiful, beautiful work there by Playgroup. Excellent teamwork as well. I feel like they must be doing a pretty decent job at tracking ultimates and knowing who to really focus. I mean, they've seen some great times as well when they have gotten Finn, who was at 90-something%, and Tiny, who was at 90-something%, and this time Jam Jam as well with that Nano, which, as you pointed out, Val, that they needed to try and turn that fight around, but Jam Jam goes down at 95% ultimate charge from that Nano, and that's not 100%. You ain't gonna be allowed to be using a Nano at that percentage. Playgroup doing a great job there in honestly in coordination and teamwork, and they've been doing a beautiful job.
Yeah, that was a really nice push there from Play Group, recognizing the situation and maybe being aware that Let me know slightly off these support ults that could have helped stabilize the fight. Maybe even keep Finn alive, help him repush with a nano, or even nano a sim on point, because that's incredibly dangerous anyway. As we get a little zoom into what seems to be a lovely ad for a watch group.
Oh, it's always amazing though when developers add those nice little, flavors into the world, and it's not just a little game that you play to show who's better and beat them up, but it's also a living, breathing world, and it feels like things go on outside of just a whole bunch of heroes fighting each other.
Absolutely. We're still seeing the sim from the side hit, but we've also seen a quick swap over back to the carry from the Juno. We've got Loophole on this Widow, got to keep an eye on him if he's able to get into these positions and go for this longer angle. Gotta care for your head in this case.
Yeah, and the Maywall as well came out from Plate's group, but they were not able to isolate and kill anyone, unfortunately, even though a lot of players of LetMeKnow went into that little cubbyhole. They are still alive in this prolonged fight between these two teams, as resources are coming out left, right, and center, trying to find the opportunity to find a kill, maybe confirm something. Going up to the high ground now on this TP. Is it going to be enough? They're trying to chase down this kill, but unfortunately, Tiny goes down. Oh no, Panova as well, finding a kill onto Jam Jam. Mission has got an opportunity to be very aggressive, and they sure do like to be like that.
Yeah, we don't often see this aggressive corner hold from teams at this level, because it's going to be so tough without really being able to use that cover. We're really seeing the effects of the Baptiste. They're able to keep everyone up super healthy in these big groups, still got the regen burst, still got the lamp in case things get dangerous. And the Lucio has been farming as well. Very close. Got some ults online this time from side of Plate group. LetMeKnow still just slightly off that nano and the carry ult in this case.
Yeah, and a quick kill already onto a Loophole is going to put a damper on the attack, and this Maywall is not going to be helping things either. Hazard is able to possibly get away all the way back to spawn. No! Oh! Cheeky kill there by Ballerina, able to confirm that kill onto Finn. Gets the reset. Loophole dies again! Oh no! I don't feel like they're going to be getting any attack off at this rate, but I think just seeing how they're playing like this right now is just a real demonstration of why Farah was chosen to be banned by Plate Group.
Absolutely. If you look at that comp, the only one who can really effectively battle the Farah is going to be perhaps the Freya, but more the Baptiste with that hit scan damage. So Faraband really coming in handy here. We're seeing a bit of an ult exchange here. We've got the nano out onto Finn, looking to get the one shot onto Balerian before the The root is massive.
He's able to find and isolate two people. The teammates are able to come in and try and find those kills, get those headshots on those immobile targets. Very easy to kill a stationary target. Now it's just the Ramattra, and even with their arm supply, it takes a long time to kill, but it is enough for LetMeKnow to get this cart moving at long last. Ooh.
You've still got to be quite happy if you're Play Group, though. That was 2 ults for the price of 1, even though it was your beat. And you've burned so much time off the clock. We've got essentially 2 fights left for this first point cap. And LetMeKnow if they've got to really look for something big with this symbol, or even this Kitsune in the face of 3 ults from the side of Play Group.
Wait, where did it TP to? I'm very confused. I would have thought it would have maybe... well, it doesn't really matter as ultimates come online. Oh, the Kiriko ult does come online, even though they got killed right as they were all using it, but it's not going to matter. How to draw, pressing Q themselves, picking up 2 kills. That is the end of that push for LetMeKnow. They now only have 1 fight left on the clock. You see that timer ticking down right there. They've got 2 ultimates online as well. They weren't able to get anything out of the Kitsune rush. But Plate Group have 2 ults of their own. A powerful Mei ult, which we have seen potently used, and this window, which has come out online. Bobble comes out as well, charging deep. Oh, a kill already, but they're just nowhere near the carts. This male, all the work that the team did, Plate Group there to keep them away from the cart is enough. And Plate Group come out with victory held high as they lift that crown. My word, Plate Group doing an incredible job there, cleaning up 3 victories there. And that last map was a beautiful, beautiful work. isolating them away from the carts, not even allowing them, using those ultimates to stagger them, and just beautiful. Oh, it was so good. It was so amazing. Oh, I'm so sorry, Val. I'm just getting a little too excited over what I just saw.
No, that was a really, really good play there from the side of the play group. They realize there's 20 seconds left on the clock. They've got three ultimates, and they're going to fight forward. They're going to fight aggressively. They're going to window at their spawn. They're going to prevent this touch or make it incredibly, incredibly difficult. And the problem with Let Me Know's comp is they have no speed. If you manage to fight them at that first corner, there's nobody effectively on their side who can get past, who can get through this linear map and touch car. So in that situation, fighting there, fantastic recognition, realizing if they can purely just take the fight there, then surely there's nobody on Let Me Know side who can move over to touch cart. You might have needed to see even a potential Sombra swap or an Echo swap or just something, but the recognition came a bit too late, still having these ultimates in hand to even fight forward. Fantastic work from Play Group. A really nice defense from the side, Let Me Know, but you've got to really give it to Play Group there. Their defense also was fantastic, taking these fights, taking these economical trades, and being really, really good for it all the way through.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a bit unfortunate for Let Me Know. Their defense, I think, actually was pretty good overall. I just think that at the start they got caught a little bit off guard there with Playgroup, you know, going swapping to that Symmetra, allowing the team to just TP straight onto the cart and ignoring the little setup that Let Me Know had ready and waiting for them. And I think because of that, it caught them a little bit off guard, losing that first fight, and they just weren't quite able to regain the momentum that they had lost, unfortunately, from that. But you can't forget, though, that they did do an amazing job on second point, uh, eventually kept in the end by Playgroup. But Playgroup, like you were saying, phenomenal job there on that final map. And honestly, that was pretty good. I do feel like a swap would have been, incredibly valuable. Yeah, you do have like Symmetra, sorry, Sim, Sombra, uh, maybe a junk, maybe to, you know, get
Double jump
behind them
over.
to disrupt them or something.
Absolutely, it could have been something, but that was also the issue. You see, it was double DPS ults from the side of Let Me Know. It was the Simul and the Bob that they had. If they chose to swap their DPS in this case, they're not going to be able to sustain through the fight with the window, with the blizzard, and I believe also with the bowler shot there again from Balerion. So even if they did have a touch, the fight behind them, so to speak, for the person who went to touch was not going to be looking good. So a really tough situation, no matter which way you look at it. For
That
Let
is
Me Know there.
very, yeah, no, that is very true. To be put into that situation at the final hurdle, but perhaps maybe an earlier switch could have helped them avoid that dilemma at the very end, where they may have had a better opportunity of breaking through that very first corner hold that they were seeing by being able to get around into different kind of positions. I mean, you saw the kind of idea as well that they had using that Symmetra to uh, try and teleport themselves and their tank up onto the high ground, and unfortunately, it got shut down there very quickly with the Freya getting the kill. So, I mean, I don't know. I think, I mean, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right about that. The ultimates that they had, the following fights, even if they had switched, just everything just really wasn't quite going their way, unfortunately, at the end. And
Yeah, it
honestly,
was definitely
that's
like a tough one for them in that situation. There's not much more you can do, I've got to say. But nonetheless,
no, absolutely.
congratulations this time to Play Group showing an absolutely fantastic performance, rebounding from their 2-2 streak and onto looking positive, going with 3 wins and 2 losses this time compared to Let Me Know, who've got 3 losses on their record and 2 wins as of right now. I've been Val, and this has been Yaffa. Thank you for coming to Crown Cup.
Indeed. Thank you very much for watching.